again, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Alumni Chats, a weekly podcast featuring alumni from the Department of Broadcasting and Journalism here at Western Illinois University. My name is Buzz Hoon. I'm the host of the podcast. I'm also the Associate Dean in the College of Fine Arts and Communication here at WIU. I was also the former professor for our next guest, and that is Dwight Bolden. Class of 2017. How are you, Dwight?
I'm doing pretty good. Enjoying the summer, of course.
It's good to see you. So let's give everyone an update where you are, what's going on in your life.
Okay, well, currently I'm in Springfield, Illinois. I'm a fashion designer. I design handmade streetwear, so handmade designer streetwear. And I have a lot of pop-up shops. Last year, I had a few fashion shows, one here in Springfield, and then two in Springfield and one up in Chicago. So been busy with that. And then I'm also here, I play basketball, so I'm helping out with the basketball team. I'm a coach for the basketball team here in town, Lanphier High School. So been pretty busy between the two.
So you grew up in the Springfield area, right? And you went to high school at Lanphier. So yep. Let's go back and at some point in time, you must have had a little bit of a bug or something that people in our area kind of get to be a sort of a performer, somebody that's not afraid to be involved with the media. When did you have an interest in the media?
Well, I always thought it was cool. Like we had 1450, I think it was here in Springfield, and they would come and like interview the kids, the coaches after the game and everything. So that was a nice way to get introduced in the media. And then while I was here in town, during the summers when I was in college, my mom was like, "You got a really good talking voice. You should go and try out for broadcasting when you transfer to Western," because I was a business major before I transferred my junior year. So, I just listened to my mom and I was like, "Okay, I'll give it a try." And then I actually ended up liking it a lot, like enough to go on internship during the summer and figure out some more about it.
So when you come to WIU, as you said, you transferred from Aurora and you changed your major. What kind of things did you get involved with to try to feel your way out in the area of broadcasting?
Well, being new to the school, I figured it's best to try and go and get connected with people. So my mom, again, gave me some great advice. She was like, if they have any positions open for their broadcasting positions, for their sports teams, you should go out and try it. So I went and I tried out to be the color commentator for the women's basketball team. And they actually ended up doing pretty well, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm pretty sure I did it for the my first year and my second year when I was there. And I really enjoyed it. And then I also was on like 88.3 The Dog. I would DJ sometimes on the weekend. So, it's just interesting to do that. My dad's a DJ here in town. He's retired. So, being able to see how he does things and apply it in my own way, my own special way. And it was just really interesting. Met a lot of people, especially through the organizations I was a part of. I was helping out with PPMT, I think that's Picture Perfect Modeling Troupe at Western Illinois University. So I worked with them. I actually had my first fashion show with them, had a few pieces in there. That was a life-changing experience. And then working with the club basketball team too, I was just everywhere trying to talk to people, trying to make connections and just having a good time.
So let's go back. There's so much there I want to dissect. Let's begin with talking about your the color commentator for the women's basketball, and you play basketball. So it's a sport that you're familiar with, but it's for a different gender. And of course, they were doing, as you said, really some outstanding things. What was it like? And what were the challenges of announcing for women?
Well, I'll go with the challenges first. The challenge was, it's a different type of setting, being on the court versus being on the side and talking about the court. As the color commentator, you kind of go by why people do things they do on the court. You're like the info guy, you're not the play-by-play where he's just saying what's happening. You're the guy okay, and they're doing that because this person is a specialty at 3-pointers, or I can still remember some of the stuff off my head, like Taylor Higginbottom shoots 50% from the 3 when there's no contest, like just off the top of the head information that you got to learn, and and then going to school with these people too. Like I'm seeing them every day. I'm really cool with the women's basketball coaches at Western. So I was able to like really get in there and get some interviews and even play against some of these ladies. And trust me, they really play basketball.
Interesting. The actually playing with the team would have been additional insight that I think that, if we had all of our announcers do that, Dwight, I think that they would have a newborn respect for their ability, because those ladies, the way they run and shoot is just unbelievable.
They 100% can compete with anybody who gets in front of them, for sure. And that was one of the things I really liked, to get back to that. It was something that was different, it was to really see how things are put together on TV. It's a difference from when you're watching ESPN3 and you're watching these basketball games and listening to these people talk, and you've never been in the positions, but when you know how all those things work, and how much work these people put in, and just everything that goes into it, it's just like a different perspective, and it really makes you respect media, because without media, all of this really wouldn't even be possible.
Yeah, all the people that it does take to put on a production, and the behind the scenes, even on our radio broadcast, we have to have somebody in the studio. We have to have people at different locations to be able to bring that sort of production to the audience. It's really impactful, and I'm so thankful that somebody like Quentin Parker has taken over and done such a good job with the sports broadcasting program in general. Other faculty members or things that you remember being in as an undergrad?
Oh yeah, of course. You were one of my favorite professors. You gave a different type of insight into broadcasting. Now that I'm looking back at it, it's a difference from when you're in class and then when you get out there in real life and why things are happening. That was one of the biggest takeaways. It's just from every single class. There's also Professor Curry. Is he still there? I think. And then
no, Colby moved on, but yeah, he was.
Yep, him. What was his name? Sean.
Sean and Gracia, yeah, Sean.
Yeah. And then I think I got there when Quentin just got there. He gave me a different perspective on how broadcasting goes, and just there was one more. There was a lady. I cannot remember her name right now.
Sharon Evans, was it maybe, or Jasmine?
I think it was Jasmine.
Oh, Jasmine.
She was one of the strictest teachers I had. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But there's a reason, being in that, working in a newsroom, it's a different type of feel. Everybody just can't go up and be on TV and be on the news, and to run through, it's a 3-hour class, to run through every single position in a newscasting 2 to 3 times in one day. You just have to have a love for it. And you have to have fun at every position, or it's going to be hard. So she made me see broadcasting for what it truly is.
Yeah.
It was, like I said, one of my hardest classes, but everything I did in that class, I was able to implicate in the different jobs I had throughout my life.
So you mentioned being on WIUS, the dog, and I'm going to ask you, what kind of music did you play in your show? And how did that, is that similar or different than what your dad would do?
Okay, so my dad, he does smooth jazz, or he's older. I think he's almost he's lower 60s right now. So yeah. a lot of jazz, a lot of older music, but also music that could be picked up, with a little up tempo, and the older folks to get down to it.
Yeah.
So just hearing him when I was younger be like, okay, this is the cut, or this sounds good. I was able to take that and apply it to my own music with my own sound. So I listen to a lot of different types of music. It could be like hip hop, it could be like lo-fi, it could be EDM, it could be rock music. The only music I kind of shy away from is country, but rock kind of folds in the country. So it's like, I know a few country songs, and then I'm from Illinois. So everybody knows at least one country song in Illinois. Like,
yeah, of
it's hard
course.
to get away from. But, I would put in a lot of, it was a lot about how I was feeling. And it's part of the reason I call myself the Zodiac, because before I even got on to making clothes, I used to make music mixes on SoundCloud before like a lot of people knew about SoundCloud. I was just doing it, putting songs together that I liked, you know what I'm saying? And it was all about the transitions and how the songs sounded and made me feel. So it's like, I'd be in the studio and maybe somebody won't be listening, but I'd be DJing, I'd be feeling it. And then being able to like input my voice. And I love DJ hooks. So like being able to get in there and talk and like being smooth and just like the whole operation of it is just, I heard it on the radio. So it's like, it was nice to feel myself doing that. It was almost like playing a sport. And I wouldn't end up leaving until like I get there at like 8. And they'd be like, oh yeah, you could stay for an hour and then it'll do its own thing. I'm like, man, okay. It's like Saturday and I'm not doing anything right now. I'm gonna stay till 11. Like, yeah. For real.
So yeah, as you've kind of indicated, you had this creative urge in the fashion area. Where did that come from? And how did that sort of, be so important in your life?
Well, my friend Thomas, I was an artist before. I like to draw. And he asked me to make a logo for him. So I made the logo, and he made the clothing brand. And from then on, I was like, this is pretty cool. He's taking pictures, he's making videos, he's, getting models to take pictures, and he's going to different places. He's up in Chicago, I'm at Western. So it's like, he has the industrial feel where I have the nature feel. And, just me naturally, I was a salesman in high school. I had all the shoes, like the stupid amount of shoes. So, just trading, buying, selling, like all the 9 yards for me with and if you make clothes and sell clothes, you have to be a clothing salesman. Just like in broadcasting, everything just isn't on media for no reason. There's like a sales team behind everything. So that's how that kind of tied in there. But being at Western, says my internet is unstable. Okay.
Yeah, you got
being at Western, it gave me an insight. Can you hear me?
Yeah. You froze up for just a moment, but you're good. You're good.
Okay. Being at Western and being able to have pop-up shops and being a part of the PPMT fashion show, that it made me like, it was like fuel to the fire, like wood, gasoline, all the types of stuff you're not supposed to put in the fire. It was put in the fire. And then it was just like, man, this is what I want to do. How can I do this better? And I'm a competitive person just because of how I was raised. So I was like, I want to be the best at what I'm doing, at least in my area. So it pushed me to be different, Before I even got into the fashion show, on a side note, they were asking for people. And I was like, yeah, I just had the clothing brand at first, God gifted brand, printing t-shirts, you know what I'm saying? They were like, I'm looking for a real designer, like real fashion, not just somebody who prints t-shirts. So that was just like, they just poured a whole thing of gas on top of the fire right there. I was like, oh, okay, you need a real designer. I'm gonna show you a real designer. And then from there, I just took it like off the fly, and everywhere I went, and getting different jobs in different places in Illinois allowed me to gain the knowledge I needed to make my own fashion and design and promotion of my own content better.
So when for somebody like me that, when you say streetwear, what are you talking about in terms of what people may see on, that other people would wear?
Oh yeah. So for example, right now I got a t-shirt and some shorts on. Right now you have a blazer on and maybe some jeans. If you have jeans on, you might be streetwear right now. So that means you're casual, you're comfortable, you're able to go out and do things, at your most comfort. Usually it's a t-shirt, some shorts, some jeans, comfortable shoes, a hoodie maybe.
Hat?
Yep, a hat, 100% sure a hat. Just all things that make you comfort, things that you would see, daily. It's not like a Gucci like sling bag or anything like that. It's not like high fashion. You know what I'm saying? Like Louis Vuitton and all those types of things. But it does not mean that the designer streetwear is not quality. So, but it's not like, you got to wear this with $1,000 shoes and this and that. You're wearing it because you like it and it's comfortable.
So as you mentioned, the importance of sort of being a salesman to be able to promote what you're doing. How do you know? I mean, do you get an indication from the reaction of people that want to purchase your stuff? Is that that you're headed in the right direction, or do you just say, I'm going to design things, and if people like them, they like them?
Well, honestly, everything, it comes from the heart. Everything comes from our emotions. For example, like this Be the Change You Want to See t-shirt. I did it like kind of like how Superman has his emblem. That's what I was thinking like. How can I put good vibes in the air? There's so many negative things that are happening these days. What can I do to be, the opposite side of the spectrum? So I was like, I saw it somewhere one day. I think I was reading this. I think it's a Gandhi quote. He's like, be the change you want to see in the world. So I just said, okay, be the change you want to see. Now, how can I get people to see that? So I'm put it on the chest real big. And then I made one, and then I wore it around, of course. And people were like, man, I like that.
Yeah.
I like what that says. And at that point, something clicked in me. It was like, I'm making people see it. I'm making them think. And now they're thinking, how can I be the change I want to see? And, it's having that effect on people, making them, it's more than top level with the clothes. Everything is more than top level. I'm expressing a message. I'm expressing how I feel through the clothes and how I style the clothes. So when I see that reaction, like, oh yeah, I like that, or it's not just from guys or ladies, it's from kids, it's from parents. You know what I'm saying? Telling their kids like, yeah, look at that, like that. It's like it's a different type of feeling. It almost reminds me of when I played basketball in high school. Everybody's like, you get good grades, you're out there doing good. Everybody knows you for doing something good, doing something positive. So that's just like the whole, like, that's what motivates me for real.
So how do people find your what you're producing? How do they, find that shirt that you have on?
Oh, so I made a website. I make everything myself from that's another thing. I make everything from the logos to the t-shirts, hand cut and sew too. So, but they can find it on thezodiaccustoms.com. Real simple. Just click on that, press shop now, and it'll show everything that I got in stock. Handmade customs, printed t-shirts, the whole 9 yards.
Is this something that you think this is for right now, the career path that you want to continue to evolve into?
Oh, definitely. 100%. Because I see myself living off the things that I create. And that's something that I did when I was younger. I created things. I had a pretty easy life as a child. I was able to go and, create things and, how I felt at the time through drawing or through like Legos or anything like that. So I've always been a creator. So for me to myself fulfill what I feel like I need to do is just to continue to create and to create positive things. And I feel like I can do that through fashion and design.
Also really impressed that you're also giving back, and you're serving as a coach, you're filling in as a teacher, doing those kind of things as well, which again, around young people, serving as a positive point that you are, is important to, I'm sure, the people within that community.
Yeah, like, and that's just like the top level of things I do. Like, I just, like, the kids are the focal point of everything I do. I don't, I don't really try and do things for money. Money is easy to get, but how can you make an impact on somebody's life? I just remember me being in high school, and it's like, I remember what it feels like to be in those situations. I wish I would have had somebody like me to tell me and guide me in the way, or at least speak these words, even though I might not have listened, it would have been in my subconscious. So it's like, I try and be that forefigure, that person that's like, okay, you can do this if you put your mind to it and you work hard enough for it, and in every aspect, especially with kids, because it's like they're the future. And, without them, there's nothing.
So you've kind of laid an interesting path while you were at WIU. What kind of recommendations would they be similar to what you did for students that are coming in and trying to find their own way like you did?
Yeah, so I mean, I'd say like join clubs, go out, of course, have fun, meet people, make friends, make lots of friends. I don't know how many, I met like a brother in college, like for real. So go out, meet people, find out how you can use the things that you learn in class to do the things that you love to do, because, right now, or the person who's going in, you got a lot of time. You got a lot of time to try things. And this is the time where you do try things, figure out what you do and don't like, especially over the summer. The summer is where you're molded into the person that you're supposed to be. So you got to go out and experience things for sure. But, go out, meet people, have fun, talk to your professors, go to every class, even if you're tired. Please go to class, but talk to your professors and, figure out your field of work and figure out what you love to do. It'll make life a lot easier.
I'm so glad you found your passion, Dwight.
I mean, you guys really helped a lot, because before, I was just a simple business major, and yeah, you can do just about anything with that. But when I transferred to Western and went out for broadcasting, it had a real change on my life, like a tremendous change. I don't know where I'd be without going through like Western's program, like 100%.
Well, we appreciate that you were on the podcast, and it's so good to see you, man. And I hope that in the future, I continue to see some great things in your streetwear fashion life.
Thanks, and I'll try and send you out some too. I mean, you're not too far away. I'm only in Springfield. I'll find a reason to come out there.
Okay, well, thanks for appearing on this episode. And remember, for anyone out there, if you want to appear on an episode, if you have somebody that you might recommend, just send me an email. We want to hear from our alums. We hope that you will continue to watch and listen to the podcast, and we really appreciate everyone's support. So until next week, stay safe, take care, and God bless.